Having a safe place to grab a hot meal, take a shower, or do your laundry sounds like the ordinary activities of daily life. But for teens and young adults living on the streets, nothing is ever easy. The Youth Outreach Program provides that safety net for many who've lost their way.
Well, the goal is to create an atmosphere that allows the youth change. They're staying in the streets, so there's obviously a lot of barriers already in place. So what we do is we try and remove as many barriers to their basic everyday survival as we can. That way they can focus towards addressing mental health issues or substance abuse issues. We have an outreach van that goes around downtown trying to identify youth, and we spend a lot of time in the shelters. And then a lot of word of mouth, because usually, especially with the 18 to 24-year-olds, they still have a lot of friends they're staying with. They haven't burned all their bridges yet. So mom kicks them out, they bounce friend to friend to friend to friend. We call it couch surfing. And then they hear from a friend, hey, by the way, I found this place, we can go grab a bite to eat.
Here, teens can see the nurse and get basic health services, check their email or use the internet, or get the necessary street survival items like sweaters, hats, gloves, and blankets. Teens can also access survival and harm reduction services. Or if they're ready to leave the streets, they can get help with emotional disorders, substance abuse, or mental health issues.
I've been a client here maybe, I could say like 6 months before I had got to the Lighthouse program I'm in, but I was like maybe like 6 months until here, like coming here and stuff, eating here and, you know, chilling, relaxing. I really liked this place. Like it was like a home to me, so. It was someplace when I didn't have a home to go to, I would come here. And Mr. Tom was just a nice guy, and he made me feel very comfortable about coming.
Volunteers play a crucial role at the Youth Outreach Program.
I prepare meals. I got some of my bridge club, and we go together. And we bring meals over, and I have a certain Monday of the month that we feed the folks here.
Well, we have a network of about 30 volunteers who bring a meal once a month at 4 o'clock to make sure there's a hot meal and a variety of food. We went for a couple years without that, and it was miserable. We ate deli sandwiches all the time, not a lot of variety. Chicken nuggets were the king. But we got some volunteers who bring by hot meals like lasagna and spaghetti and tacos. And it really helps the atmosphere, and it shows a greater community support for the youth. It's not just this small pocket of people that believe in them, but there's this whole cycle of people constantly coming through, doing their little part to make sure these kids can get what they need.
With continued demand to create safe harbors for teens on the streets, some volunteers are stepping up in innovative and generous ways.
In the future, we're about to build a new center. So we will now no longer have to haul food in people's cars and things dropping and falling, but we can actually go into the kitchen in our new center, which will be on Highland Avenue. And we will have the Anthony House Day program on the first floor, and we will have a full-time 24-hour care program facility for both young girls and boys from 18 to 24 years old.
20 years ago, when he toured the Youth Outreach Program and met some of its clients, Pat was sold on its mission.
At the very first, I was just interested in the challenge of runaway and homeless youth and wanted to learn more about it. So when I asked around when I moved to Ohio, Lighthouse was the name that came up, and so I called the director of what was then the Lighthouse Runaway Shelter and said I want to volunteer, and that was in 1989. And the rest is history. I was there for about 3.5 years, started doing a little part-time work for Lighthouse. That grew to full-time. And so I worked for Lighthouse from '95 until 2007, and then promptly turned around and started volunteering again. Their values, their mission are just really, really consistent with my own values and with kind of my spiritual practice and what I want to accomplish in the world. So it's a real good fit. I feel completely comfortable with what Lighthouse does and how they do it. It's very consistent with what I believe.
The value of our volunteers is immediate, powerful, and sometimes life-changing. It doesn't matter if your commitment is just a few hours a week. The need continues to grow, and we need your help now more than ever. At Lighthouse Youth Services, we make lives brighter for youth and families.